Hello, and welcome back to Mindful Escape. My name is Leighton, and thank you for joining me on this video today. So, today is all about why you must wake up and the importance of staying on your spiritual journey. Because so often throughout my experience, my journey, the obstacles that I was overcoming, so many times I just felt like giving up. I questioned whether it was real. I was feeling very lonely a lot of the time. The people that were in my life didn't really understand the path that I was taking. As I was becoming more aware of different things in life, in society, the way that people do things, I was starting to question everything, and people were starting to question me. And it can often make us feel a bit like an outcast, a bit like the black sheep of the family, or the odd one out, or yeah, something around not fitting in. And it's really interesting as I've met more people along this path that they also have felt the same. They've maybe felt like they've arrived here from another planet, or they don't quite fit into the society that they've been dropped into. And it's so fascinating how we start to break out of our patterns, and we realize that the people around us are very different from us. And it makes us feel a little bit alien. So I'm going to dive straight into this and not hover too much around the point, because I think if you're watching this video, you are already on this path. You've already experienced this a little bit, maybe a lot. So I wanted to emphasize that throughout this path, you're going to be taking steps that you've never taken before, and you're going to be creating a path that hasn't been created before. And with most things in our lives, whether it's going through school, whether it's getting a job, whether it's buying a property, or whatever path is laid out for us, it has already been done. So it's very easy to see. It's very clear to see that route, that direction, that the steps that you need to take. But as you go in your spiritual journey, obviously there's videos you can watch, there's books you can read, there's films that you can explore. Everybody's journey is completely different. The steps that you take are not going to be exactly the same as mine. They're not going to be exactly the same as the other person you watch on YouTube, or the video you watch on Instagram or TikTok. So you need to stay true to yourself. You need to tune in with your body, tune in with your heart and your soul, and listen to yourself and follow the path and the steps that align with you. And this can be really difficult, but this is all part of the awakening process. It's common for us to ask for other people's opinions along the way, and usually those we love the most. And if you've listened to my podcast, Mindful Escape, which I recorded last year, a lot of the guests that came on, they were always talking about the ones you love the most are often the ones that want to keep you safe. But unfortunately, this spiritual journey, this path that you're on, you're going to have to come out of that comfort zone. You have to come out of that place of feeling safe and take those steps, those leaps, those decisions that don't feel comfortable for you, but deep down you know that you have to. So as you go along your journey, when you get to that point of feeling like everything is becoming too difficult, perhaps you're feeling lonely, perhaps you're struggling financially because you don't want to work the job that you used to work and you're looking for another route. Perhaps you are getting comments from family and friends questioning the decisions that you're making and the path that you're choosing. When you get to that stage, it's really important to just observe yourself, notice how you're feeling, and think about the things that you've already achieved. Look at how far you've already come and the things that you've changed already. Because as you're on this journey, and with a few of my coaching clients, they don't realize how far they've come. And it's really important to just take stock of that and look back and think about all the difficult decisions you've already made, all the steps that you didn't think that you could make and you've now done. And give yourself some love, some gratitude, and realize how brave you are for getting where you are already. And if you're taking this spiritual path, you are brave, you are courageous, and you need to keep going with this. There's so many points in my traveling with my business or my work where I've kind of just felt like I need to take that safe option. I need to go down the secure route because that's what my subconscious mind wants me to do, to make me feel safe, to make me feel secure. And of course, you can't just, well, you might be able to, but not everyone can just quit their job and leave and travel for a long period of time. People have responsibilities, people have payments, people have families that they need to support. But the message here is whatever you're doing, don't give up. Don't get sucked back into that lifestyle that you were living before, that hustle culture, that grinding to buy material possessions, the expectations of having to have certain things in life, whether it's buying nice clothes, driving a nice car, having a luxurious apartment. These things you can have, but if it's at the detriment of your spiritual journey and your spiritual growth, then you need to reconsider that and think about, how can I lower my expenses so I can support my spiritual journey? And in reality, if you watch my last video, I'll put the link below, about finding your spiritual powers, you all have these spiritual powers. And if you can continue going along the spiritual path and not give up and not get sucked into that societal expectation, the conditions that have been imposed upon us our whole lives, then you will find your spiritual powers and you can create a business or an offering where you can do what you love doing and support other people on their journey, help others grow, heal, and live a better life. There's so many people that I meet that have this longing to serve, to help others, to support others. And it kind of comes from this deep knowing that we are all supposed to collaborate. We come from a world where everything is about competition. I came from the real estate industry, which was a dog eat dog environment. And it was all about being the best and beating your colleague or your competitor. And it's such an unhealthy environment to be in. But that's how we're conditioned. We want to be the best in school. We want to be the best at sports. We want to be the best in our job so we can earn the most amount of money. But in reality, to move forward as a society, we need to collaborate more. We need to stop the competition, stop putting other people down to lift ourselves up, but instead support others around us so they can support us too, and we all grow together. One of my favorite sayings is, I've forgotten it now, a rising tide lifts all ships. And yeah, it's so beautiful because if we think about that as humanity, if everyone can raise their vibrations, everyone raise their energy and support each other more on their journey, then we'll all lift each other up. We'll all go on this acceleration, this lifting, this increasing of joy and happiness and love and compassion in the world, and we can all go on this journey together. While I'm being very positive and optimistic now, the point of this video is to pick you up when you are feeling that struggle, when you are thinking about going back to maybe an old job so you can have that stability, that comfort, when you are thinking about giving up on something that you're passionate about because something's not clicking. With these things, there's just something that's missing. You could be one step away. And it's important that you just keep observing yourself, keep growing, and noticing what patterns you are creating. Because if you found something that you're passionate about, then you're already on the right path. So you just need to overcome any limiting beliefs that you've got. You need to find out what the deep-rooted beliefs are within your system so that you can release those and you can create a new path. And if you haven't found your passion, then you need to give yourself time. Give yourself time to be creative, try new things, allow yourself to be bad at something new. One of the things that came up a lot for me on my journey was around this perfectionism and needing to be good at something straight away. And trying new things can be scary sometimes. It can feel like, this is embarrassing. I'm not very good at this. I don't want to continue doing this activity or this new thing. But if we can embrace that uncomfortableness, if we can embrace that not being very good, being a beginner, and it might not be something that you love, but if you can practice new things so that you get used to sucking at things, it all of a sudden becomes more natural and you feel more at ease at trying new things, exploring different avenues, and not always feeling like you need to go back to that comfort, the thing that you know you're good at. Because another thing to consider is that when we are children and we try something new or we are criticized for something, we can often create a belief that we are not very good at it or that we shouldn't be doing it and it's not the right thing. And it could be that our parents' expectations are not to go down a creative path and we need to focus on science or maths. Or it could be that we were playing a sport and we weren't very good the first time. So someone said to us, oh, you're rubbish at that. So then we didn't continue it. And then we create this belief system or this pattern that that isn't the right path for us. And then we never try it again. So we need to break that pattern. We need to try new things. Do the things that you did as children and you weren't very good at. Do the things that you were told that you shouldn't do or that you weren't a natural at. And try it again and see what happens. We change so much throughout our lives, and whatever stage you're at in your journey, be creative. Try things that you might think that aren't your natural skills, to just see what happens and be okay with not being that good at it. The final point that I just want to talk about is finding your flow. There are things that you will naturally be good at and things that you won't be. But whatever you do, follow that excitement. Follow the things that bring you joy. And while there are going to be times when you're going to be uncomfortable, there's going to be uncertainty, if something gives you a buzz, if something makes you feel like, oh, I would love to try that, or I'd love to do more at that, or with this, or something made you feel really good and excited, then lean into that. Keep going and push it as far as you can. And don't worry about what it might be in the future. We're conditioned to think, if I start this path or if I study this subject, how will I make a career out of it in the future? Don't think that far ahead. Think about the now, be in the present, find that enjoyment, find that enthusiasm, and just lean into it and see what evolves. I think there's so many expectations of ourselves to reach a certain point and be able to create something from it. But we don't need to think that far ahead. Lean into what feels good for you. Find that enjoyment, find the excitement, and enjoy the journey. It's going to be challenging, it's going to be uncomfortable. But if you can find as much enjoyment from it as possible, then everything will be so much easier for you. On the point of feeling alone in this journey, I have felt it a lot, and now I'm at a point where I'm starting to create more community and meet more like-minded people, which is so beautiful. And I want to create this space for other people where they can connect with others around the world and join them on this spiritual journey. And it's so incredible if you can find someone that's at a similar point to you on your path, so that you can bounce ideas off each other. You can talk about the podcasts that you're listening to, the experiences that come up during meditations or during your spiritual practice, and give each other that boost to keep going on the journey and realize that there's more out there and there's more to explore, and there's so many different avenues, and you might have messages for each other to give each other the encouragement that you need to keep going. So very soon I'm going to be creating a community. I haven't figured out what it looks like yet, but if you're interested, make sure you hop over to Instagram and follow me. The name is the same as this channel, Mindful Escape 222. Follow me over there. I'll be putting some announcements on there as soon as the ideas come through. And yeah, we'll start connecting people to help each other on their spiritual journey. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. As I mentioned in my last video, I'm going to try and put up at least one video a week to keep you updated on my spiritual journey, the messages that come through, and see how I can continue to support you. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I'm here to support you, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you.